everyone, and thank you for joining me today at the Taubman Museum of Art. I am in front of this beautiful work of art by Dorothy Gillespie. And today in this series of videos, you're going to actually get to explore the world of Dorothy Gillespie, as well as learn a little bit about some paper folding techniques. I hope you enjoy these videos, which are brought to you through the generous support of the Genworth Foundation. Enjoy.
Joyful, inspiring, ever-evolving, surprising, and spectacular. These are examples of how the critics have described the work of groundbreaking artist Dorothy Gillespie. It's been said her work offers a magic carpet ride, overlooking a sculptural spectrum of brilliant color, a world of fantasy and boundless celebration. The language of her art is readily understood, without pretense, a language of color and joy. The works of Dorothy Gillespie mirror the artist herself, with a story of optimism and childlike wonder. Dorothy Gillespie, creating magic with color.
Well, my work is all from childhood. Bouncing balls, tops. Spinning tops. And my sister laughs and says, I can't remember what I had for dinner last night, but I remember everything about my childhood. And my childhood was in Roanoke. And you know, some things I'm so amazed at, that my mother, as a little girl, I was allowed to play mumbly peg, you know, where you throw the knife up and it comes down. And I think, why would my mother let us do that? But you know, all the things that change your life as a child, you've never seen before. A top being kind of pumped, and then it goes around, and then it slows down, and then you see the colors are separate and everything. And so all that awareness, I was very aware of it. That what I had seen, I had never seen before.
Gillespie was born to a genteel Southern family in 1920. She went on to graduate from Jefferson High School in Roanoke, Virginia in 1937. It was a time when most young women would become housewives or teachers, but Gillespie wanted to be an artist against her parents' wishes. But over dinner, the preacher told them their daughter had God-given talents, and so off she went with her family's blessings to the Maryland Institute College of Art in Baltimore. From there, New York City became her home as she worked with the Art Students League and became associated with Stanley William Hayter's printmaking workshop, Atelier 17. Following World War II, New York City trumped Paris to become the center of the Western art world, with a major shift in aesthetic perspective. Like her contemporaries, Willem de Kooning and Jackson Pollock, Gillespie became part of the abstract expressionism movement, moving away from the realism that marked her early work.
It was the most exciting thing I have ever done. I had never worked with such, it's like working with the Medicis or something, because Rockefeller Center has a mood of its own. It functions, and it functions with excellence.
Like other rebellious abstractionists of the day, Gillespie's work was highly individualized and increasingly multidimensional, extending the scope and scale of modernism. She became an enduring proponent of public art. Here she shares her world of color and light at a massive outdoor installation at New York's Rockefeller Center.
And the first day that I toured the space, they said to me, "You can put things on the wall." And I looked at them. I was shocked that they would say that. And I said, "But these are hallowed grounds." And they said, "I know, but you can put things on the wall. You can." And I realized that they were trusting me. I could do whatever I wanted. So it made me have restraints in what I was doing. I could have done something that would have blown your head off because it could have been so fanciful and so, wild. But I didn't want to do that. I once said in Alabama, when I was doing a building there, that I wanted to, the building was an old pre-Revolutionary War building with wrought iron, lots of wrought iron, and on this old brick. And I said, I don't want to change this building. I want to, it's like a crown, I want to put jewels in it. And that's kind of how I treated the Rockefeller Center. I wanted to make it work with a very important building. Rockefeller Center is pure Art Deco. And I didn't try to cover that up. I just worked with it. And I decided that much of the work would be on anodized aluminum because that looks gold. And it's made for outdoors, so it's not going to turn, it's not going to change. And so once you kind of decided your perimeters, how far out are you going to go? How high are you going to go? And I probably wouldn't have said that I would do something if I knew how high they were. Those panels that were on the walls, one of them was 22 feet. And I had to make those paint those in my studio. Things come to me. I let them come. You know what I say? I'm not smart enough to know what's really I should be doing, so I do it all. And that way, doors open that I never imagined would open. Joseph Campbell, the wonderful Joseph Campbell, who taught at Vassar for 47 years or something, says in his books and that he calls it bliss. If you follow your bliss, doors will open that you never knew existed. And I think that's true.
Hello, it is I, Tabby, the great art detective, coming to you from the Tobin Museum of Art. And today, friends, we in the Dorothy Gillespie exhibition, yeah? Dorothy Gillespie was an artist, and she made this beautiful painting. These called dancers. And Miss Dorothy, she used all the beautiful colors and it makes me want to dance. And so I love to dance. Yes, do you love to dance? Very good. Okay. So Tabby has always wanted to learn the ballet. So I have called on my very specialist friend, Mr. Pedro. Let's go see Mr. Pedro, okay?
Miss Tabby, come to the class.
Hello, Mr. Pedro, everybody. Hello, Mr. Pedro.
Hello,
Mr. Pedro
everybody.
with the Southwest Virginia Ballet.
Yes, thank you, Tabby. And I'm so excited you're coming to do the basics. I bring my portable bar for you.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
going to teach you the basics. So
Okay.
going to the other side, remember we need to have our distance, okay?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
You know what? I can't prepare. I wore my 20 toe
Oh,
shoes.
wow, that's beautiful.
And
Turn me around because you're changing.
my
Sorry.
tutu.
Okay.
What you think?
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm
Beautiful.
gonna put this on the shelf. Yeah. Okay. I'm ready. Mr.
Let's
Pedro.
go parallel feet. That means hip level. Have the
Okay.
weight. Make sure the hands with arm on bar. We go small allongé, stretching arms up, and take the bar nicely and gentle. Yes? The hands is touching the bar, never grab the bar. Start with the right foot. And 1, 2, with the demi-point, 3, and 4. Plie, stretch, plie, turn out. Oh, that's the turn out. Excellent. Beautiful. Keep it nice and back. Now we go tendu front. That means stretch of the foot. And first, plie. That means bend. Second, first, plie. To the back. First, plie. Very nice. And let's close it. Let's do the left side. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Plie, stretch, plie, turn out. Nice, Miss Toby. And we go tendu. First, plie. Second, I want you to keep the back straight. Plie. And there, here. Plie. Stay in first. Bring your arm. Like the beautiful painting. There's arms and round. And open and using your body. And the left. You see the beautiful shapes we make.
This is wonderful. This is so much
Yes. And first for the bra. That's one of the beautiful photographs. Open and touch. Show me the first photograph one more time, Miss Toby. And open, gorgeous. You see those round movement of the dancers in the pictures.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, this is so
Round.
nice. How they kept the fits like this?
Yes, and we have so many positions. You know, we have first, we have second, we have fourth, we have third. You know, it's so many fifth. Yes.
Wow.
So very good. And you see, the bar is very important to have to help you.
Yeah.
That will never hold it.
So you keep your balance.
Yes, to help you to keep your balance on your center, your alignment. Yes.
Good posture.
Yes. Tommy's doing an excellent job with her first ballet class. Excellent.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Mr. Pedro. This has been so much
You're welcome. It's so
fun.
nice to see you again.
Hey, friends, try out some of these really fun ballet moves at home. Thank you, Mr. Pedro.
You're welcome. Make sure you curtsy. Let's go 1. And there we go. And switch to the other side. Very nice.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, friends. We'll see you next time.
Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us today here at the Taubman Museum of Art for a really fun art project. Today we're here in the Porterfield Education Center, and we are going to be creating a really fantastic project that goes along with artworks inspired by Dorothy Gillespie. This is a Dorothy Gillespie sculpture that we happen to have in our collection here at the museum. Dorothy works with aluminum as well as enamel paint to create these freestanding sculptures that are very whimsical and fun. And you can create your own inspired sculpture at home using paper. We are going to be working off of a sheet of paper. It can be any kind of paper as your base. I'm going to be using construction paper, but you can also use any kind of scrap papers you have around the house. You can use any kind of scrapbook paper, newspaper. If you happen to have a heavier kind of cardstock, that works too, as well as aluminum foil. And it can be a mixture of them. And what we're going to do is we are going to use some scissors to cut strips of paper. And they can be any length, it's up to you. And once we have our strips of paper, we're going to figure out how we can fold them or twist them to create different things. If you happen to have a pencil or anything kind of thin and round at home, you can wrap your strip of paper around your pencil. And when you slide it off, you've got yourself a fun curly cue. And so you can use tape or glue stick, really any kind of glue. If you use a liquid glue like Elmer's glue, you might want to be mindful that you're going to have to let it sit for a little bit to dry. But if you happen to have a glue stick, that works too. You can kind of fold it to where it'll kind of stick off of your paper, like so. Let's see, I think I'm going to use a strip of some newspaper here. Add a little interest. If you just have white paper at home, color your strips of paper to add some color like Dorothy does with her enamel paint. This one I'm going to accordion fold. So I'm going to take turns flipping it one way or the other to fold it kind of like you would a fan. And that's going to create a zigzag. Now, as the artist, you get to make the choice as to how you want your sculpture to look. It can look like a bunch, like this one, or it could be more two-dimensional and kind of go from one side of the paper to the other. So there I've got my accordion fold here. And so I can choose it to place wherever I want. I think I'm going to use a piece of tape for this one. So you can see I can make it go across the page like this, or I can make it stand up a little bit more if I want to. I think I'm going to make it go across the page a little. And if you happen to have some aluminum foil at home, this is a great tool to use. Because aluminum foil you can really make stand up. So I think I'm just going to do something. I'm going to weave it between my fingers, see what that does. We're just experimenting here. Ooh, yeah, that kind of creates like a little wave. I think just going to crinkle this a little bit. I'm going to have it go around this piece. Make it stand up. Take that down. Okay. You have ribbon at home, you can use some ribbon. I think I'm just going to glue this directly down onto my page. And you just keep going to create your sculpture.